Presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Before he went on the DL, Josh Hamilton was batting .444 with 6 runs batted in just 8 games. Tonight, for the first time since April 8th, he's back in the lineup just in time for a 3-game set against the Astros, a team Hamilton loves to face. The Angels and the Astros, next on Angels Baseball. Welcome to T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball. We are in downtown Houston, Minute Maid Park, as the Angels continue this 10-game road trip tonight. For Minute Maid, it is game number 1 of a 3-game set against the Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, from inside Minute Maid Park. We welcome you back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West, along with Mark Gubiza. I'm Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us once again. As I just finished telling you, Josh Hamilton back in the lineup, and it's certainly good to have the big slugger in the middle part of the order.
No question, Victor. When you think about it, you got Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton back. And speaking of T-Mobile game changers, Josh Hamilton back in the lineup, which is so important. What he's done against the Astros throughout his career, especially in this ballpark, .379 batting average with 6 home runs. Been fantastic against him this season in 4 games. 9 for 14 with 2 big flies, but you can see what he does with the swing against the Astros this season. Just comfortable at the plate, just get that back through the zone and hit the ball out the right field. When he's comfortable, when he's relaxed at the plate, doesn't chase pitches out of the zone, there's no one better than Josh Hamilton, especially with that power, what he can do with the bat. And he's done a nice job with the glove here, also at Minute Maid Park. But I'm looking forward to those 2-3 guys in that lineup right now. Protection for Trout, protection for Pujols. Josh Hamilton back and crushing the ball.
Yeah, you mentioned Mike Trout. He missed the last 2 games against the Oakland A's. He is back in that starting lineup. Nice to have the full starting lineup in action tonight in Game 1. We're stepping away for a moment. When we return here to Minute Maid Park, we'll hear from Josh Hamilton on his return. 3 against the Houston Astros. Colin McHugh on the hill for the Houston Astros. He'll be dealing with a full Angels lineup. Josh Hamilton back in there, as is Mike Trout. Let's go downstairs and hear about Josh Hamilton's return here to the Angels lineup tonight.
I think it's like a opening day kind of almost all over again. You know, it's biggest thing is not knowing that you're ready, but staying calm, not letting the adrenaline get too ahead of you. So that'll be the biggest thing tonight, you know, first couple of bats.
C.J. Wilson on the hill for the Halos. We're just about ready for baseball here in Houston. Sit back and relax. Line up the first pitch when we return. '90s and the humidity, it is up, and so I guess you can kind of say it's a beautiful night for baseball, although we wouldn't know about it. The glass out in left field shows us the sun is starting to set, and the Houston Astros about to take the field here for game 1 of this 3-game set.
You know, it may open up after the 5th inning. I heard a little bird down there saying that may happen.
Really?
Yes, possibly. It has to be obviously agreed upon by both teams.
Gotcha.
So that may indeed happen, I think, after the 5th.
Well, no rain in the forecast this week, but you never know. Let's take a look at the Angels starting 9 for the Halos at 30-26, 4.5 back in the American League West. Cole Calhoun leading things off in right. Mike Trout is in center. Albert Pujols at first base. Josh Hamilton back in the lineup in left. Howie Kendrick at second base. Raul Ibanez gets a start at DH. It's David Freese at third. Chris Iannetta behind the plate. Eric Ibar batting 9th and playing shortstop as they take on the 26-year-old, soon to be 27-year-old right-hander, Georgia native by name of Colin McHugh.
McHugh, good fastball, sinking fastball, 89 to 94 range, very good slider, very good curveball and changeup. Those over 50% of his pitches will be a breaking ball or changeup. And the keys against McHugh is going to be don't swing at that sinker below the knees. Force that sinker up and use the small dimensions of this ballpark. Left field and right field, right center field especially. If you drive the ball, you got a good chance getting out of the yard.
Defensively for the Houston Astros behind McHugh, you've got Grossman, Fowler, Springer in the outfield from left to right. It's Dominguez, VR, Altuve, Singleton making his major league debut at first. Jason Castro behind the plate.
And you mentioned John Singleton at first base, product of Long Beach Millikan High School. Big target to throw over there. The first base got good soft hands, able to pick those low throws. So look for him to be very active, and that way he can relax himself defensively before he comes to the plate.
Halos, of course, coming off the Series sweep at the hands of the Oakland Athletics. Both teams were off yesterday. Astros making news as they signed Singleton to a 5-year, $10 million contract and then calling him up to the big leagues from AAA Oklahoma City. The Angels making their plethora of moves today before the game. It's good to see Josh Hamilton back in the lineup, and good to see Mike Trout back in there as well. Cole Calhoun is ready to lead things off. And tonight's first pitch is being delivered by the UPS store. Had some great crowds over the weekend, specifically on Friday night. They hosted the civil rights game, and at that point, the Astros were playing very good baseball. George Springer is in the midst of 7 home runs in 7 games. With the slightly smaller crowd, they're hoping that the young players that they continue to call up here start to result in ticket sales. The first one tonight is outside for ball 1.
You can certainly feel the excitement around Houston here. The thought of Singleton being brought up along with George Springer. So that's 2 of their main position players getting called up here at the major league level.
Cole looks at a strike, and it evens up the count at 1-1. 228 average, 3 home runs, 6 runs batted in. This is pretty much the same starting 9. It is the same starting 9 that Mike Scioscia ran out on opening day. This one's bounced off the foot. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. The only difference being is in that 5, 6, 7 spots for the Angels, where tonight it's Kendrick, Ibanez, and Freese. Opening 9, it was Freese, Ibanez, and Kendrick. Ball and 2 strikes on Calhoun, just underway. The Halos, after that sweep in Oakland, now 15-13 out on the road this year. 10-15 against the West. This one's pulled down a line. That is foul.
You're going to see a lot of breaking balls, that's for sure.
Let's take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
A little Bryce today. Parking lot party. Looking for the big fly here in this ballpark, especially the way the guys swung the bats in batting practice today. They look extremely relaxed. Early BP earlier today here at Minute Maid Park. During regular batting practice, a lot of baseballs were launched out of this yard.
Breaking pitch, rolled foul. Cal remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cole had some success here in that series against the Houston Astros, homering in that 4-game set. The Angels taking 3 of 4. First time through here. Halos won't return to Houston until September, and that'll be just a quick 2-game series. And have still yet to visit the Texas Rangers. That'll happen in July for the first time. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good at bat so far for Calhoun. Seen a number of pitches, fouled off a couple tough breaking pitches from McHugh.
McHugh coming off a start against the Angels that was very, very good. That was at the Big A. Ended up taking the loss, but allowed 2 runs. 7 innings, allowing 4 hits. This one bounced foul. Another breaking ball.
So important as a leadoff batter in a game to be able to see as many pitches as possible. So Mike Trout, who's on deck, can see the out pitches for McHugh, along with the guys on the bench who will have an opportunity to swing against him at some point.
Trout on deck, Pujols to follow. Just underway, Cole Calhoun extending his plate appearance. 2-2 now. Foul back.
That's a good pitch to hit. Made the mistake, McHugh, on that one. Fouled it straight back. What he was trying to do, force that fastball up, and he did. Fouled it back. Did a good swing at it.
McHugh, an 18th round pick by the Mets back in 2008. Last time in the big leagues prior to this year was with the Rockies last year, making 4 starts. 0-3 with a 9.95 ERA. This one looped down the third base line. That is going to get down for a base hit. Grossman over to cut it off. Calhoun is trying to get the second base, and he is safe at second. A hustle double by Cole Calhoun.
And it's a gamble worth taking, I think. Bo Porter may want to go out and challenge the call at second base. Grossman, good arm. Got over. It took a while to throw the baseball, though. Calhoun might have got his foot in on the base before the tag was applied by Altuve.
There wasn't really much of an argument on the part of Altuve. That's why Porter making the slow walk out there.
It's a well-placed sand wedge.
Yeah.
And right out of the batter's box, thinking double, then turns it on, the slide. Good view right here. If indeed the foot's on the base, and it looks like it is before the tag's applied.
Now, I mean, that goes back to those middle infielders and that whole sweep tag mentality that they've got to get used to. You almost have to grab the baseball, especially on a blind spot like that. If you're a second baseman, you have no idea where the runner's at. Catch and just throw the glove straight down.
A lot of times that used to be called and was out, but then if you look at the reviews, because he didn't have replay at that point, they would overturn it for sure.
So man in scoring position, Calhoun with a 7th double, and here's Mike Trout. Did not play Saturday or Sunday in Oakland. He swings the first one, fouls it back.
So far they've gotten some fastballs up and good swings against the fastball up against Q.
Mike in the midst of an 11-game hitting streak. Ended up going 2 for 5 Friday night, including a home run, his 11th. He's 38 runs batted and team leader in that category. 11 doubles, 4 triples. Came right after him. And it's no balls and 2 strikes.
Looks like the approach was for Mike was trying to hit the ball to the right side. Now that changes now behind in the count. You're just trying to make contact.
Trout backing out now. Goes without saying, but over the weekend the Angels had some opportunities with men in scoring position, did not capitalize. They did pick up some knocks Saturday. So the numbers in that game look good at 4 for 9. But unable to score runs on some of those hits. Breaking pitch, a little tap or foul. Slow breaking ball from McHugh.
Yeah, surprised he threw that one. I thought he threw it in the hard slider. Even if you're fooled out in front, you have a chance at least fouling that one off at 73. Certainly was good to see Calhoun be aggressive on that flare to left field to be able to get a double, get him in scoring position for Trout right here.
Q has thrown 12 pitches, 10 for strikes. Working for a little while before flaring that double. 0-2 upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McHugh in that start against the Angels had 7 strikeouts. The season high was 12, and that was in his first start. Allowed no walks in that one against the Seattle Mariners back on April 22nd. He started the year at AAA.
Threw 89 pitches that game in which he had 12 strikeouts. It's pretty impressive.
Breaking pitch. Another tap the foul again with that slow breaking ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here with the Astros in spring training, sent down about midway through spring. Told to work on his innings and become a much different pitcher in the big leagues. He had been in his previous stints, but the Mets or the Rockies. And it's a little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's the slider, got around that one. Almost has the break of a cut fastball. Another good at bat by an Angel hitter against McHugh. This is a long at bat. Got off some tough pitches Trout has so far.
Calhoun able to get a big lead at second base. 2-2 now. And he strikes him out with a high fastball. 1 down.
Very difficult to lay off that fastball. It's elevated. Very difficult to make contact with it, though. Letter high. Swing and miss. Big strikeout from McHugh against Trout.
Albert welcomed here at Minute Maid. Chorus of boos.
That means you're good.
Hear that, or they remember a Brad Lidge matchup here. Albert swinging at the first pitch. It's a breaking ball. Fouls it off to the right.
Boas with 43 regular season home runs against the Astros in his career.
.253 average, 14 home runs, 33 runs batted in this year. Had a sacrifice fly Sunday. Breaking ball is in there. Albert 1 for 11 in the series against Oakland.
Wonderful. Try to go upstairs with a fastball here now to set up his curveball again.
0-2 on the way. Slider. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Q coming off a win against Kansas City. In 7 innings. Longest outing, 8 2/3. That was his second start. Took the win against Oakland. Josh Hamilton anxiously awaiting on deck. First action for him since April 8th. Now the 1-2. This one's left foul and out of play. As this first inning has kind of progressed too. More folks being allowed to walk down the aisles. Starting to fill in nicely in the lower deck here.
Yeah, you got to believe there's been quite a few fans coming late, walk up. Let's see your young player, John Singleton, make his debut here tonight.
Still haven't been able to break through against McHugh, but they've made him throw some pitches, 20 total in this first inning. That's Jonathan Singleton, first baseman, his major league debut. Big lead again for Calhoun. 1-2. Breaking ball hammered down a left field line, and it is foul. Just foul. Right size, wrong shape. As Albert tried to wait as long as possible just out in front of him. Cal remains at a ball and 2 strikes.
Another breaking ball. The more you throw, you're more apt to make a mistake with it. And he did on that one. He was out in front, but he still was able to get his weight back enough. Keep the bat head in the zone, but pulled it foul.
What if they take the Trout approach? Yeah, they get on the slider instead. So leadoff double, now back-to-back strikeouts. Here comes Josh Hamilton.
Pretty good slider off the plate. I wonder how they'll go after here, Hamilton, even though it's his first game back. Hamilton with a lot of success against the Astros in an open base. I wonder if they'll go after him. It is early in the game, but C.J. Wilson has had good success against the Astros, and they are going to pitch to him.
They'll look at a breaking ball for a strike. 444 average, 12 for 27 before the injury. 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in.
Is that thumb guard?
Yeah. 2 home runs happening here at Minute Maid Park.
So far, a slow curve and followed by a changeup. Hughes willing to pitch a fastball in on the hands of Josh Hamilton.
That was one of the things that Josh was trying to get over the hump with, as far as getting jammed, having it be pain-free. So he looks at a fastball on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lays off. It's almost as if he's just showing, well, especially the right-handers, just showing that slow curveball to set up that slider or fastball up.
It looks like he's going to try to paint a fastball away here. If not, try to do a backdoor slider. We've seen Hamilton when he was playing earlier in Houston here hit a couple of good shots the other way.
Calhoun still standing at second. He led off the game with a double down the third base line. This was left foul and out of play.
Not quite the shift that they had on against Hamilton earlier in the year when we hear that 4-game series. Shortstop was playing on the second base side of the bag, and he rolled a couple ground balls through that spot.
And Houston is a team that shifts a lot. Dominguez off the line at third. VR shading Josh toward the middle. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball outside. Full count. Kendrick is on deck. But at the very least, they've certainly made Colin McHugh work a lot here in this top of the first.
And for this one base runner, 28 pitches thrown already.
Trying not to strand a man in scoring position. Payoff pitch. Josh hammers one out to straightaway center field. Dexter Fowler racing back near the Greens Hill and makes the catch to end the top of the first. Well struck by Hamilton, but the Angels hit a leadoff double and leave him stranded at second. We'll head to the bottom of the first with no score. That run, so we're scoreless as we begin the bottom of the first inning. Here is Cole Porter starting 9 for the Astros. Dexter Fowler just made the catch. He's in center. Jose Altuve in second. George Springer in right. Jason Castro the catcher. Matt Dominguez in third. John Singleton his major league debut at first. Chris Carter the DH. Bobby Grossman in left, and Jonathan VR rounds out that starting 9. He is the starting shortstop. And C.J. Wilson takes the mound looking for his 7th win of the season.
He's 6-3 in his career versus the Astros with a 2.78 ERA for C.J. Wilson. 6-4 on the season. ERA just over 3. But the keys, once again, for C.J. Wilson, fastball command. You get it fastball over, you can expand the strike zone and avoid the hoopla. The 2 new stars, George Springer, John Singleton, use that aggressiveness against them. Don't force that fastball inside. Make them swing at your pitch off the plate.
Dexter Fowler, switch hitting center fielder, will lead things off. .251 batting average, 3 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Not an easy play either, having to deal with Greens Hill. Or Townsville, pardon me. Greens Hill's in Arlington, Texas. We are in the state of Texas.
Yes, it's close.
Yeah, we're close enough. Getting ready for that first trip in July. Fowler looks at a strike, and it's 0-2.
Well, when you think about Hamilton, that ball he hit, it's a home run everywhere.
Yeah.
But here. But it's still a perfect swing. That's dead center field. Just quiet approach.
What you like to see. What you don't like to see is not being able to score after a leadoff double to start the game. Trout and Pujols with strikeouts. Hamilton with that deep fly ball to center. 1-2 to Fowler. Little chopper to short. Ibar's going to have to hurry with a speedy Fowler and safe at first. It's an infield base hit. Check out the Angels defensively behind C.J. Josh Hamilton in left, Mike Trout at center, Cole Calhoun in right. The infield consists of David Freese, Eric Ivor, Howie Kendrick, and Albert Pujols from third to first. From the side of behind the plate.
And with Josh Hamilton back out in left field, we're going to be able to see him. 48 different. He's missed 48 games. 5 different left fielders started in his spot. with his outfield arm strength and his ability to cover the ground, some very good outfielders now for the Halos, and strong throwing arms.
So the Astros get their leadoff man on board. Fowler with the single. 6 stolen bases for him. He's been caught 3 times. And here's Altuve. Looks at a strike. The second baseman, 318 average. A couple of home runs, 17 runs batted in. Leads Major League Baseball in hits with 78. Melky Cabrera is second with 74. And had been pretty much primarily a leadoff man, but Porter putting him down in the 2 spot. Fowler the opportunity at leadoff.
Early on in the game, C.J. Wilson trying to establish his changeup. You know, Bo Porter's very aggressive as far as having his base runner try to steal bases. 43 stolen bases on the season for this Astro club.
And this is an Astros team that could swing the bats against left-handed pitching. 264 batting average against lefties this year. 225 against right-handers. And Altuve's been solid against lefties. His average at 425. Pardon me, 422 against lefties. Big hole on the right side of the infield. And that one is on the corner. 1-2.
It's a good command of his fastball early on the outside part of the plate.
Wilson coming off that loss in Seattle. 3 runs, 5 hits, 7 2/3 innings, 5 strikeouts. He got Zanino'd in Seattle. One-two. Flipped out towards shallow right field, and that is going to fall in for a hit. Fowler's going to try to go to third, and he slams on the brakes. As Cole Calhoun did a heck of a job of getting there.
Yeah, that was a wise decision. I wonder if there was a play potentially at second base when he stopped. So an infield hit and then a flare to the right center field. Altuve is trying to protect, put it in play. It was a good read by Fowler off the bat, but well played by Calhoun charging.
I think you almost have to fire that to second if you're David Freese.
That's what I thought they might have had a play on.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Kendrick and Calhoun backing up on that alley there behind Eric.
It almost seemed Fowler at that point was content, because he was overly aggressive. He was going to try to get into a rundown and allow Altuve to get the second.
Yep. But instead, it's back-to-back singles, and here's George Springer, the right fielder. American League Rookie of the Month for May. 4th Astro ever to win a Rookie of the Month award. Takes a big rip, comes up empty. Springer hitting .259, 10 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Springer hit .294 in May. 4 doubles, a triple, 10 home runs, 25 runs batted in. And looked like the Walking Dead when Jared Weaver picked him off in the 9th inning at the Big A. But then was back in the lineup.
And did he get hot when he got back in the lineup? Got a little bit of a long swing. Quick on a fastball. Susceptible to off-speed pitches, though.
Connecticut native went to UConn. Oh, 1 pitch. Just missed it. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Astros this year, .213 batting average with men in scoring position, .214 with the bases loaded. As we pointed out in the pregame show, they pitched well and they hit well in the month of May. So they ended up finishing a game over 500 with May, 15-14 record. They hit .261 as a team. 1-1. So they missed, good on speed, 1-2.
And like we talked about against a young hitter, you have to use that aggressiveness against him.
What a difference a month makes.
More consistent at the plate. Much better for Bo Porter on the mound also.
So they had 30 home runs in the month of May. The Angels conversely had 23. Angels at .255 in May. Finished that month. The Angels did 16-12. 2 strike pitch. It's inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dexter Fowler with an infield base hit. Jose Altuve with a base hit out to shallow right field. Good speed on the bases for the Astros. Jason Castro on deck, the catcher. Swing and a miss. Down goes Springer on the breaking ball. 1 down.
Rule of thumb, young hitters are going to be aggressive, susceptible to breaking pitches in the dirt. And that's what CJ was able to do. Nice job by Iannetta to keep that in front of him. Starts on the outside part of the plate and it goes down and in. A good swing and miss.
Even more susceptible, to your point, with men in scoring position. They want to be the heroes, so that they take that aggressiveness and ratchet it up a notch.
Yeah, there's no question. You almost were doing him a favor by throwing him a fastball out over the plate. And CJ was very smart. His fastballs he threw to Springer were off the inside corner.
Jason Castro at the plate. 1 out, 2 on. Castro looks at the breaking ball for a strike. That, by the way, behind the plate is Paul Emmel calling the balls and strikes. Jordan Baker at first base. Angel Campos at second. And Jerry Meals, the crew chief at third base, the umpiring crew for this series. No 1. Castro reaches for this one. Should be 2. Kendrick to Ibar for 1. Back to first in time. Inning-ending double play. And Wilson works out of it with a strikeout and that 2 ball he just threw. We're through 1 here in Houston. No score. Both sides, base runners, but nothing happening. Scoreless as we begin the second inning. Howie Kendrick will lead things off, and Carl Labanez and David Freese against Colin McHugh, who threw quite a few pitches in that first inning, but unscathed.
CJ's so good as far as getting that ground ball double play between King Felix and CJ Wilson, top 2 in the American League since 2010 as far as getting ground ball double plays.
McHugh with 2 strikeouts in that first. Will face Howard to lead things off. Kendrick a .294 average. 3 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Outfield shading Kendrick the opposite way. Outfield pretty much straight up. Although Singleton way off the line at first. As is Dominguez. A pinch towards the middle.
Howie, a .370 career hitter here in Houston.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Starting to take it even a little bit more off his curveball. That one at 71. We've seen a couple at 73. Right back with another curveball.
Grounded toward the hole is short. VR has it. Off balance throw, and they get Kendrick for the first down. The base is clear. 1 out. Roland Bañez is coming to the plate. Hey, folks, the Angels take on the White Sox on Friday at 7:05, and fans in attendance will receive a Jared Weaver gnome courtesy of Farmer John while supplies last. Purchase tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Boy, just a few days away from that gnome.
That man right there is so stoked about Friday's gnome giveaway.
No question.
Banya's to DH, hitting 147. Jose Altuve pretty much playing right field now. He's the second baseman. That is some distance.
Yes.
And we saw him cover some distance.
You better have some, you got to loosen your arm to be able to make that long of a throw in case there is something hit your way. It's as a second baseman.
1-1 strike.
Boy, I hope batting practice correlates into a good game for Raul Ibanez today because he hit everything hard. A lot of good shots to left center field. Turned on some fastballs inside.
2 balls and a strike now. Raul got the start at left field on Sunday, went 0 for 4. Oh for 5 in the series against the Athletics. Fouled this one at the plate. 2-2. Celebrated his 42nd birthday yesterday. Now the 2-2. Breaking ball hit out the left. Moving back on it is Grossman. He's at the warning track, and he'll make the catch in front of the Crawford boxes. Round number 2.
The right approach didn't get it quite enough to get it off the wall in left field for Ibanez.
So 2 outs, the base is clear for David Freese, which is third baseman. David having 1 for 2 game, including a couple of walks Sunday. One for 8 overall in the series, 4 walks, 208 average, a couple of home runs, 14 runs batted in. Hughes retired 5 in a row since that leadoff double by Cole Calhoun. On the corner. I'm sure David liked that call. Like Castro brought that ball back.
Yeah, with a lot of movement in the catcher's mitt. What I've seen early on from McHugh is, though, he doesn't have a feel for his slider. That might be his mistake pitch. His curveball, he certainly has had a feel for, but his slider, not so far here tonight.
Ground ball to the left side. Dominguez has it. Over to Singleton, and the Angels go down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the second. C.J. Wilson going back to work in a scoreless tie. second inning. It'll be Dominguez, Singleton, and Carter for the Astros. Colin Cowgill has been brought into this ballgame. He's taking over for Mike Trout. You wonder if the back issue, upper back tightness that he experienced over the weekend is acting up again.
He took quite a few seconds in between every pitch thrown by the cue to him. You wonder how comfortable he really was at the batter's box at any point during the game here.
So having that starting 9 together lasted just over an inning. Hopefully nothing serious for Mike. At Dominguez, the third baseman, leading things off. .250 average, 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in. This is CJ misses outside. Two and 0 now. TJ with a strikeout, a couple of hits, and double play ball in the first inning. It's the 12th double play ball that he's thrown this year. Only threw 16 last year. 2 balls and a strike. His personal best, 31 double plays. That was back in 2011.
Pitcher's best friend.
That and your team hitting a 3-run home run, right?
Yeah, and lots of runs for you.
CJ has certainly been the beneficiary of that. A lot of runs. Didn't quite get it the last time against Seattle. He was locked up against Felix Hernandez. And that is a strike on the corner. A full count.
A 3-1 changeup.
Looks like Paul Emmel at least is opening up the corner.
That outside corner is available for the pitchers tonight. Going to go with a curveball.
And he lays off. So it's a leadoff walk.
Yeah, going back and look at Mike Trout, there looked like there was some discomfort. At least it took a while in between swings for Trout. Again, when you're feeling good at the plate, you're getting back in there as quick as possible. He's trying to will himself to get back into the batter's box. Still, it took a while in between pitches. It's usually a pretty good indication that something doesn't feel as well as you'd hope for.
There's Jonathan Singleton, the first baseman, making his major league debut. And he takes outside. Singleton was hitting .267, 14 home runs, 43 runs batted in at AAA. 22-year-old. Milligan High School product at Long Beach. 8th round pick of the Phillies in 2009.
You can tell what exactly he's trying to do. He's trying to pull the baseball. Well located fastball for CJ there against Singleton.
Walks a lot, strikes out a little bit. 42 walks, 52 strikeouts at AAA. As he pulls this one foul. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty quick on the inside.
I was going to say the same thing. At 91, he was out in front. But now you have a perfect opportunity for CJ to throw a slider off the plate, down and away. Got Springer to swing at a pitch in the dirt. You can see if you get the other youngster to swing at a pitch in the dirt.
Yeah, it looked like he went around, and he did. 2 down. Pardon me, 1 down. Second strikeout for CJ.
Great location. Trust in INN to be able to get that ball and keep it in front of him. Expanded the zone and got a youngster to chase.
So Dominguez at first and 1 out. Here's Chris Carter, DH. You know what the future holds for Carter, DH, first baseman. Now that Singleton is up, signed a 5-year deal yesterday. Cardinals still struggling. 193 average, 8 home runs, 22 RBIs. .27 pitches thrown by CJ so far. 17 have been strikes. Both teams with an opportunity to score in the first. Neither cashed in. 1-1. Good off speed. 1-2. Good off speed tonight for CJ too. Change it, breaking ball.
And I like him using that pitch early on. That way you have a feel for it. Then your fastball gets better as the game progresses because you saved your best fastball to get a swing and miss in a big spot later in the game. Another breaking ball here.
This one pulled through the hole. A base hit. Almost an excuse me swing right there. Carter's on board with a single. Houston for the second straight inning.
And the only reason why he made contact on that one, Victor, got a little bit too much at the plate. It was the right decision to go with the pitch. It was around knee high. It fooled him, but he's still able to try to punch that ball through the hole when he did.
Brings up Robbie Grossman. Grossman getting the start tonight at left field. Switch hitter hitting 164. Ground ball towards short, slowly hit. Ibar to Kendrick for one, relay back to first, and they got him. Second consecutive inning. First and second, one out. Wilson throws the double play ball. We're through two, still scoreless. Park coming up later in the game. We'll bring you the AT fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo using hashtag WestFanPhoto. It could be shown in an upcoming game broadcast.
A lot of Angel fans here, even a few of them right below us.
Yeah. Transplants from Garden Grove.
Yes.
Moved here in '92, he said. Got his family here just below our booth. Might be able to hear him through our mics.
Oh, yeah. On that swing by Hamilton, they were jumping up and down. It's just we were, too.
8-9-1 for the Angels. Iannetta, Ibar, and Calhoun. Chris Iannetta getting the start today. Usually we've seen Mike Scioscia play the straight-up platoon. Left-handed batter with Hank Tiger. It's a right-hander on the mound, but Chris gets a start. 255, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. That breaking ball misses outside, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. 6 up, 6 down since that leadoff double by Calhoun. That's what Colin McHugh has done so far. I believe this may be the first time I've seen 3 infielders on the left side for Chris Iannetta. Mentioned the Astros do shift quite a bit.
When Iannetta swinging the bat well, he'll hit the ball hard to right center field.
Breaking pitch. That's a called strike 3. Chris doesn't like the call. 1 down, 3rd strikeout for McHugh.
I don't know if that's on the swing or location. Barely touches the outside part of the plate, barely.
Well, note to both sides, you better protect on the outside corner because Paul Emmel's calling it.
He's established that zone. He's not gone away from that so far in the game.
Mark, I couldn't agree with you more. All right, fine. It's not a strike. It may not be a strike, but you know what? It's a strike tonight. So you better not complain about the strike zone and just make the adjustments. Pitchers have to do it all the time.
He's calling that part of the plate. You have to be aware of that. You have to be aggressive, especially away on a right-hander and in against a lefty.
Ibar pulls down with off the top of the dugout, ricocheting off the seat. Hopefully it didn't hit anybody. May have just hit the 3 seats down there, the 2 rows back of the dugout. Fortunately, no one's hurt. 1 ball, 1 strike on Eric, hitting .277, 4 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Ibar was batting in the 2 spot Sunday afternoon. 1 for 2 with an RBI double. Also had a sac fly and a sacrifice bunt. This one pulled over to first and under the glove of Singleton. Ibar will reach. Figure that'll be an error on the youngster.
That slider down the line. Trying to get himself in position, but did not look the ball into the glove. Now this is one of those times too you would like to see Eric Ibar think in terms of stealing a base.
Cole 1 for 1 with that flared double. 7th double of the year.
And one thing you always want to keep in mind when you're going to try to steal a base against McHugh, realize he does throw a lot of off-speed pitches, whether it's a slider or a curve. It gives you a better chance to steal a base if you're Eric Ibar or anybody else who could run on the Halos tonight.
Halos on this road trip, 7 games of 3 stolen bases. Struck. Singleton does get charged with an error, so it's the 44th error that the Astros have committed this year. Just did not run as much as we thought they would on this road trip. Cole lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. The hit and run has not been very prevalent either.
Well, more than likely you've taken away because you were ahead of the count 0-1 the potential of a pitch out. Now more than likely you're going to see a curveball again. It's a good time to go.
Castro this year has thrown out 25% of would-be base stealers. Hughes at 51 pitches. 1 out here in the 3rd. Long first inning for him. Pretty good lead for Ibar at first. Time is called.
To his credit, McHugh holds the ball well, which makes it difficult for a base runner to be comfortable enough to try to steal a base.
One pitch. Looks like a strike. Took something off. Being told that Trout left the game with mid-back discomfort. Same issue that kept him out of Saturday and Sunday's game, acting up here. The one plate appearance, now is in the first. 1-2 now. Now back. Good hack there by Cole.
Only 2 at bats so far. You know, the first one resulted in a flare double for Calhoun. Every time Hugh has thrown him the fastball, he's been right on the fastball.
Cowgill on deck. That's Trout's spot in the order. Inetta struck out looking to start this inning. Then Ibar reached on the error by Singleton at first.
You can almost guarantee if you're Eric Ibar that Calhoun will probably see a curveball, although they're going to throw over first. And he was going, anticipating a curveball, leaning. Throw over again. And leaning again.
McHugh a little bit more deliberate in his start than he was 2 starts ago against the Angels at the Big A.
Shook off to go to a curveball. Good pitch to go on.
Ibar takes off. The breaking pitch is rolled to first, and Singleton will take it himself. 2 down. Ibar ends up in scoring position. So 2 outs, and here's Cowgill for his first plate appearance of the afternoon. 288 average with 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in.
Well, during batting practice today, Dave Hansen, Paul Sorrento, and Mike Scioscia just kept telling Holland is to hit the ball on the line, on the ground. Think line drive. You can make adjustment on the bad breaking pitch where you can lift it, but think line drive, ground ball.
Looks at a strike. Cowgill gets the start center. Sunday's game. Mike Trout. Colin did say, or did face McHugh in that May 21st start. Strike until 2.
That outside corner once again. It's going to be called.
Yeah. And you've heard guys talk about it too, because you know you've had plenty of guys go back in the dugout talking about the outside corner.
There's no question.
Breaking pitch and bounces it down.
And the majority of them have been strikes, but you're seeing a lot of movement from Castro as far as bringing the pitch he feels is off the plate, bringing it to the corner. A lot of times you don't get those calls when a catcher moves that much with his glove. They are hitting the corners, at least according to our Fox tracks.
You're more inclined to do that as a catcher too if you're starting to get that call. How far can you go? Breaking pitch, swinging a miss. Castro will have to throw on a first to complete the strikeout, and they do. Well, the Angels get a man in scoring position with 2 outs and leave him stranded. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd with no scores. Oakland Athletics at 7:05. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels tote bag courtesy of MLB Network. Purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com. Nine 1-2 for the Astros here in the third. Villar, Fowler, and Altuve. Jonathan Villar, switch hitting shortstop, hitting 195. 5 home runs, 17 when it's batted in. He takes outside. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed for C.J. Wilson. Nothing really firmly hit as of yet. 2 double play balls that he's thrown. Check swing. They wanted to peel and did not go. Powered forward, umpire Jordan Baker at first base.
Yeah. Put him and Tim McClellan when Tim McClellan comes back with some size.
No doubt. 3-0.
When he forced that changeup. He's had a good one so far in the game, CJ.
And that is a 4-pitch walk. Second straight inning, he's issued a leadoff walk. Dominguez picked it up in the second.
Now let's take a look at our tools of the trade presented by Ram Trucks. With Dexter Fowler coming to the plate. Dexter Fowler in the first inning. With Tal's Hill, center field, Josh Hamilton crushes the baseball. But Fowler able to cruise back and catch that as he falls that incline in the outfield here at Minute Maid Park. I think he was real happy about going back with that ball. Ball was hit well by Hamilton, but tracked down by Fowler.
Why would you be happy on up the hill to catch a fly ball? Fowler 1 for 1. Infield base hit for him in the first. Now Villar will run. He is second on the team in stolen bases with 11. Been caught twice, which gives more credence to the guy that you would want to go after as a pitcher, especially hitting under 200.
And he doesn't walk a whole lot either. He's very aggressive.
Yeah, he heeds that old advice of you got to swing your way off the island.
And he's up there hacking. And with this speed at the base, first base, and at the plate, Bo Porter's more apt to put some type of action play on.
1-1. I think it was an off-speed pitch that got Fowler to kind of reach for one and bounced it slowly to Eric Ibar. Dexter legged it out.
One play we don't see a whole lot anymore in baseball is that push bunt, especially with a man on first with good speed, and just have him continue around second base and force a perfect throw to third.
2 balls, 1 strike. Bo Porter, his second year at the helm, relaying his signs to his third base coach, Pat Listash.
Former Rookie of the Year in the American League.
Three and 1. Altuve on deck, and it's back-to-back walks. So now you have 2 on with the Major League's hit leader coming up.
Mike Butcher going to come out and pay a visit. A lot of speed on the bases here also.
Altuve's 1 for 1. He cleared that single just beyond second base. There's a race on that double play ball.
In the past, Altuve would be asked to square around the bump, but no sacrifice bunts this season.
the Love Boat theme as Mike Butcher pays a visit to the mound. I like it.
Don't be surprised if you see a pickoff at second base before even a pitch is delivered here from CJ.
Freeze playing in, as is Pujols at first. Those are the corner infielders for the Angels. And Altuve looks at a strike. Not showing bunt. This is popped up, foul territory, and this one's headed toward the seats. No balls, 2 strikes. That looked like a swing by Altuve that he was anticipating something in, got something away.
At that point, committed to a swing, just trying to flare a ball to right field.
Now, when you see that, now you're ahead 0-2. Do you come in fastball hard?
No, not against Altuve. Just because we've seen him with authority be able to turn on the ball on the inside part of the plate. I think you just go something soft away or sink a fastball away and see if you can get your 3rd ground ball double play already in the game for CJ.
Cole playing shallow in right field, anticipating a little flare, and goes soft away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Back-to-back walks to start off this 3rd inning for CJ Wilson. He has 3 walks in the game already. 2 strikeouts. Fastball away.
Late. Well, your mindset is you just think he's set up for a fastball in off the plate. But his swing, though, he's more apt to do more damage on the inner part of the plate than he would away.
Hamilton deep in left field, but that's all relative in the Crawford boxes. Just 3:15 down the left field line here. Calgill shading Altuve toward the island right center. Mentioned Calhoun very shallow and right. 1-2 again. This one's fouled off to that. Good reason why Calhoun is playing out of position for him. He likes to play a deeper outfield, but with Altuve at the plate, he's probably just looking to punch something into the outfield. Try to cut off potential run at the plate with VR, who has good speed standing at second. Fowler also good speed. He's at first. Astros 12-17 at home. That's their same record out on the road. Swing and a miss. Down goes Altuve. There's out number 1.
All speed once again. Big swing and miss.
Great change.
Boy, you see the head pull off the baseball, Altuve.
That for him especially has got to look so tantalizing because it looks fastball all the way.
And that even had some cut action on it. Even almost appeared to be a slider, but it was a changeup.
So 3 strikeouts now, 1 out here in the 3rd. And George Springer, the right fielder, up. Springer struck out on a breaking ball in the 1st. No score. Calhoun back to his normal depth in right field. Calgill more straight up in center.
Yeah, Springer's got good power that way.
Springer just the 4th Astro to win a Rookie of the Month award. Hunter Pence, Kirk Saarloos, and Roy Oswalt.
Surprising considering all the good young players they've had over the years here.
I thought the same thing when I read that. 1-0. Up high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Guess you know the game, so Craig Biggio here.
As Cabell was here, Nolan Ryan during batting practice hanging out.
It's a big time history here in Houston, trying to develop some of these younger players to get back to that level.
Three balls and no strikes. CJ on the verge of his 3rd walk in this inning.
I believe Springer's going to be getting the green light here, even though he's a youngster. Will Porter's aggressive, not only with the players on the bases, but also allows them to look for a pitch in their zone.
They walked him. Still loaded up now for Castro. No one's earned their position on the bases. 3 passes, 4 walks in the ballgame. That's the interesting thing about C.J. Wilson. You can go from a fantastic approach against the Major League's hit leader Jose Altuve, resulting in a strikeout, to all of a sudden can't command the strike zone.
But also he still has that ability, the uncanny ability, to make the pitch when he needs to. And he has a guy at the plate now that's rolled into 8 double plays this season, including 1 in the 1st inning.
0 for 7 in his career with a couple of strikeouts against CJ. He has thrown 2 double play balls already. 13 on the season. No place to put on VR at 3rd base. Fowler at 2nd. Springer at 1st. Want to know?
That's a key pitch for CJ, that first pitch, to try to get him to chase. Castro with no success against CJ in his career so far. That one he took. He's looking for a spot in his zone, and CJ's trying to avoid that zone.
Foul back. Got a fastball up and in. Castro in his career, brief big league career, 2 for 9 with the bases loaded. Grand slam, 8 RBIs. McHugh had a long 1st inning. Now C.J. Wilson having a long 3rd inning. One pitch out to right field, a base hit. VR is going to score. Fowler's being waved in. Here comes the throw to the plate, and Fowler is safe. 2-0 Houston. If Castro gets his first hit of his career against C.J. Wilson, picks up 2 RBIs, now has 27.
And that first pitch with the bases loaded changes the whole at bat for a hitter. Break a ball out of his own fastball. He was on it, fouled it straight back off the mass with Chris Iannetta. Then this break a ball too much in the strike zone. And he hits it in the right field, scoring 2. Pretty good throw from Calhoun too, but because of that path has to be clear for the runner to be able to have an opportunity to score. Fowler uses that hand to touch the back of the plate and scores the 2nd run.
There's Matt Dominguez, who walked leading off the 2nd. And he takes downstairs.
And a good throw from Calhoun, right on the money, but because of that path has to be clear for the runner, Fowler's able to get the backhand and touch the plate before Iannetta can apply the tag. Good throw, though, from Calhoun.
Charged that ball well. So 2 of the 3 walks have scored here in the 3rd. And this is the base at the left. Springer is going to be stopped at 3rd base. Hamilton comes up firing. His throw is cut off. So they're loaded up once again, this time for Singleton. Already 1 visit to the mound.
And 2 guys have had 0 success against CJ have hits in this inning. Matt Dominguez. Ball hit right at Hamilton. The Pat Listas will not gamble to try to score on the arm of Josh Hamilton.
And it goes back to starting off this inning by walking the 9th place hitter who's hitting 195. That's the guy you've got to beat down.
And a guy that doesn't walk normally.
Yep.
Mentioned Matt Dominguez coming in this game, this 1 for 15 against CJ. Now it's a walk and a base hit. And Jason Castro was 0 for 7 before he had the base hit to drive in 2.
There's Singleton. Struck out on his first big league at bat in the second. Mike Butcher on the phone, so we might get action in the Angels pen. We're in the 3rd inning. And again, behind the count.
Remember how we talked about hitters at such an advantage with the bases loaded? This is exactly why. If you're not able to throw that first pitch for a strike, back-to-back times with the bases loaded for CJ against a lefty. One Castro, now Singleton. Hitter at the advantage on a 1-0 count. You look for a fastball.
Two balls, no strikes. Michael Moore getting ready now. Singleton, the 7th man to bat in this inning. Angels with a 6-man pen. Bedrosian, Frieri, Jepson, Moore, Salas, and Smith. Springer at 3rd, Castro at 2nd, Dominguez at 1st. 2-0 now. 3-0.
2-0 changeup. You have to feel real confident you're going to get somebody to swing at that pitch, because now all of a sudden you're at a 3-0 count. Youngster's going to be taken here.
Close ball game, and C.J. Wilson on the verge of walking his 4th batter. 3-0 pitch, and he walks in a run. It is 3-0 Houston. John Singleton picks up his first Major League RBI. 5th walk of the game.
And all 3 batters that walked to start this inning have scored now. But still, if you're CJ, your mindset has to be, I can still get a ground ball at an infielder and avoid further damage. He's finished off 2 innings so far with a double play back in the 1st and the 2nd. He would surely love to have one now.
Got to throw a strike in order for that to happen. He has not been able to do that this inning. 58 pitches thrown, 30 strikes, 28 balls, and Iannetta going out there to give Moore an opportunity to finish getting ready.
Certainly not something Mike Scioscia anticipated in this game. Getting the bullpen up this early with CJ, who's throwing the ball so consistently well this season.
This is season high in walks now with 5. Another multiple run inning allowed by Angels pitchers on this road trip. Carter is swinging a miss. One ball, one strike. 12 multiple run innings allowed by the Angels on this road trip.
When you think about how well the Angels have thrown on the road this season coming into this road trip, it is a surprising stat.
That's a strike, 1-2. And the Angels started this road trip Memorial Day in Seattle. At that point, at a 13-8 road record and a 2.88 ERA. As a staff, coming to this one with a 3.65 ERA on the road, with a 15-13 mark. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Carter helps out. 2 down.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Fourth strikeout. This game for C.J. Wilson now 62 pitches thrown. We're not through the third inning yet.
Here's Robbie Grossman, the left fielder. Grossman rolled into a double play in the second. 3 runs in for the Astros here in the third. First pitch strike. Off the plate. Now a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Grossman came in batting 164, a couple of home runs, 8 runs batted in. Just a note on C.J. Wilson this year as far as batting averages per spot in the order. It's the 8th spot in the order that's given him the most trouble. 8th place hitters this year hitting 321 against C.J.
That's extremely odd considering the stuff that C.J. has.
Yep, fouled back, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It comes down to trying to be too fine instead of just aggressively getting that number 8 hitter out and number 9 hitter.
So the next highest batting average is the number 1 guy, a 265 average. It's almost 60 points difference between the 8th spot and the number 1 spot this year anyway. Trying to work out of this bases loaded jam. 3 runs in already. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. It's VR that's on deck. He's the one that started it all with the walk. Two-two. Downstairs, a full count. Grossman gets on board. This may be his last batter. Morin is ready to go on the pen.
Yeah, I think you're going to be right on that one, Victor. Hopefully, quality pitch. Grossman's only had 2 at-bats in his career with the bases loaded, 1 for 1.
Get the merry-go-round going, too. 3-2 count at 2 outs. Base runners take off. 3-2 is fouled off to the right.
He challenged him with a fastball. That was right down the heart of the plate.
Reset and do it again. Runners are going to take off once again. And another 3-2. This is back up the middle, and Kendrick can't get it. 1 run is in. Here comes the second run. It's now 5-0 Houston. Robbie Grossman with a 2 RBI single.
And because the runners are able to move on a 3-2 count, they both score easily. Right up the middle and over the glove of Howie Kendrick. That's going to be it for CJ as Mike Scioscia coming to the mound.
Well, Michael Morin had been warming up in the bullpen. C.J. Wilson unable to get out of the 3rd inning. He faces 9 guys here in the 3rd, walks 4, and so far has allowed 3 hits. 5 runs in. Houston leads at 5-0. Oakland. It is 5-0 Houston here in the third inning. Just threw 69 pitches, 2 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Responsible for the 2 guys on base. 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. It's his shortest outing as a starter since 2012. Turning it out, who's in, who's out. Wilson is done. Michael Mord takes over on the mound. Mord 0-1 with a 1.32 ERA. This is his 14th game. 13 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 11 strikeouts, 2 walks, and opponents hitting .217 against him.
And good movement on his fastball, 90-94 range, a plus changeup, and good slider also. His changeup is his go-to pitch to get a big out, and he needs that big out right now to keep the Angels in this ball game. Still plenty of time to come back, especially in this yard. You got to stop it right here at this point.
It matches his shortest outing as an Angel, and that 2012 start was September 19th against Texas. Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 2/3 that day. Not his shortest outing of his career, but it matches his shortest as a halo. Here's Jonathan Villar, spins around, hit from the left side. He started off this rally for Houston with a walk. One ball, 1 strike on VR. We're back in those multiple run innings and 12 that the Angels have allowed on this road trip. 5 of those 12 innings, multiple run innings, have been of at least 4 runs. The Angels have been kind of pinning themselves into a corner and offensively not getting the job done. It's been a team effort, unfortunately, on this road trip, splitting the series in Seattle and losing 3 against Oakland. And down here to start this one early. 5-0. Still plenty of baseball to be played. Colin McHugh has been sitting for a while. Has been solid through his first 3 innings. He's allowed 1 hit. And he has struck out 4, walking none. One, 2. Off speed is down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's a real good changeup. Michael Morin has.
Singleton is the base runner over at third base. Grossman, who just picked up the 2 RBI single, is at first. Grossman now with 10 RBIs on the season. 2-2. Fastball. Full count. Didn't miss by much. Oh, chopper towards second. Howie comes charging in. And that'll end it. But Houston strikes for 5 on 3 hits, leaves a couple of base runners. We're through 3. 5-0 Astros. fourth here at Minute Maid. It is 5-0 Houston. Colin McHugh back out of the mound for the Astros. 4 strikeouts, no walks, 1 hit allowed. The Angels have had 2 men reach scoring position. Halo's 0 for 4 in that category tonight. Pujols, Hamilton, Kendrick for the Angels here in the fourth. See if the long sit for McHugh affects him here in this inning. Albert struck out in the first. McHugh got him on a slider.
When you're a pitcher, you're sitting in that dugout for 31 minutes before you go back out to the mound. You're more apt to make a mistake. First pitch out of the strike zone for McHugh.
2 balls, no strikes.
But you'll always take that long inning when you get 5 runs of run support.
Yeah, it's a balance that you're trying to kind of deal with. You want to get back out there quickly, especially if you've got good rhythm going. And this one's unlined in the left center field, a base hit. Grossman was shading Pujols that way, so he cuts it off. Albert is on board with a leadoff single. But you also like the fact that, hey, all right, I'm scoring some runs. I got a little protection now.
Yeah. I mean, you're more apt to be more aggressive when you have that type of run support right away. Pujols had a favorable hitting count, got a base hit. Now you got Hamilton, who crushed a ball his first time up. And Fowler made a nice play in center field.
There's Hamilton. Slow breaking ball, misses in. Nine for 15. It's the Houston Astros this year. It's 48 games after having that surgery on that torn UCL ligament in the left thumb. 2-0.
For both hitters, he's been behind the count 2-0 since this inning started. A little pad he has on the thumb. Check just in case of a fastball running inside.
Takes low. 3 balls, no strikes.
Well, you need base runners. But I think Mike Scioscia would give Hamilton the green light here. 3-0. If he can get a fastball, he could do some damage to it.
Takes a fastball, 3-1. Howard on board, second hit of the night for the Angels. 3-1 now. And there's an off-speed pitch. It misses it away. A 3-1 changeup to Hamilton.
See, that'll get your manager upset. They're up 5-0, 3-1, and they're going to go right out to talk to him and after that pitch there.
Brent Strom, the pitching coach, coming out.
The reason why I say that is because with the walk, you're inviting your opponent right back in the game. If you aggressively throw a fastball, if he hits it hard for a hit or hits it out, you don't feel as bad as you do as when you see somebody walk somebody in that spot.
Here's Kendrick, 0 for 1 as he grounded it short, leading off the second. Pujols at second, Hamilton at first. Perfect opportunity to strike here. Get that 0 off the board. Cut that deficit. Slider. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's better, that boy.
No runs, 2 hits, 2 left on for the Angels. 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 4 left on for Houston. 5 run, 3rd inning.
And your goal always is to get to the bullpen for the Astros. A lot of inexperience down in their bullpen for them.
Now he fouls it back a little bit late on the fastball. Next pitch will be the 70th thrown by McHugh here in the fourth.
Come on, Mac.
Breaking pitch rolled to short. It'll be tough to turn two. Throw goes to first, and now he's thrown out.
Yeah, the arc couldn't quite get the handle of the baseball. Fortunate enough, he has that strong throwing arm to throw Howie out at first.
So runners at second and third now with one out. Raul at the plate. A fly ball to Grossman in left field. His first time up. 0 for 1. One ball, no strikes. Most pitches thrown by McHugh this year. 114. That was that second start against Oakland. Threw 112 in his 7 innings against the Angels.
Come on. Attaboy.
One ball, one strike on Raul. Second oldest active players. Giambi with the Cleveland Indians. 1 and 2.
Troy Hawkins, 41. Is that a solid season closing for the Rockies? Good guy.
Pujols at third, Hamilton at second. Overshift on with Ibanez. The 1-2. Protecting, fouls it off.
Boy, have to get at least a run here, if not more, in this inning. Just behind in the count now for Ibanez. A ground ball outside of the pitcher's mound should get you a run at the very least.
This one's popped up. First base side. Single to the first baseman. Comes charging over. 2 down. So it's up to David Freese with runners still at second and third. And the Angels down 5-0. Freese hit a ground ball to short in the second inning, so he's 0 for 1. This one's pulled foul just out in front of that breaking ball.
2 hanging breaking balls he's thrown in this sequence against Freese. 1 out of the strike zone. That one, Freese was just out in front of it. They're very hittable pitches, those 2.
One ball, 2 strikes. Freese lost the handle of the bat there on that swing.
See, that's a pretty good pitch to hit.
McHugh ahead of the count at 1-2. Single by Pujols, and then a walk to Hamilton. Howie a ground down to Ibanez. A pop-up. The breaking ball hits him in the back. And they're loaded out for Chris Iannetta.
Especially behind in the count. No reason to try to get out of the way of that one. Turned his back. Get hit by a pitch. Put another runner on base. For Chris Iannetta with the bases loaded here now.
Iannetta struck you out looking in the third inning. Springer playing very shallow in right field. Iannetta got caught looking on a pitch on the outside corner. A cue from the stretch. First one in there for a strike. Looks like somebody barked something out of the Angels dugout.
Well, he was a little bit delayed calling that strike. Yeah. He might have hit the strike zone, but he was delayed. That's what the reaction was in the dugout.
Breaking ball, a little bit high. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Not been able to finish off that curveball all night. 81 pitches for 3 2/3. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike.
And the more apt you are to make mistakes on the breaking ball when you haven't had a feel for it, you're going to try to guide a slider in there. And that'll speed up the bat of Chris Iannetta, looking to do some damage. .311 career hitter with the bases loaded.
2-1 on the way. This one's pulled over to third. Dominguez has it. And that is the third out of the inning. So the Angels load them up and leave them loaded. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. 5-0 Houston. Four-door Fiat 500L. Visit FiatUSA.com. By T-Mobile Tuesday Night Baseball. By the new fun-to-drive 2014 Camry at your Toyota dealer today. We make it easy. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Beautiful night in Houston. The roof is closed here at Minute Maid Park. The Angels down by the score 5-0 as we begin this bottom of the fourth inning. Michael Moore came in and at the last out of the fourth. He'll face the top of the order here in Fowler, Altuve, and Springer. Fowler 1 for 1, a single and a walk, 1 run scored. He hits this one down the left field line. Hamilton is not going to get there, and that is a fair ball. A looping double off the bat of Dexter Fowler. 7th of the year. Been on base 3 times.
Boy, Fowler almost thought it was going to be foul also, the way he ran around the bases. He didn't think I was going to be able to stay in fair territory. Down in the corner. The left field line.
There's Altuve, the second baseman. Came in batting .318. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Single and a strikeout. .318 average, good for 6th in the American League for Altuve. Victor Martinez still leading the American League. Batting average at the start of the day at .335. Jose Bautista, the Blue Jays, the on-base percentage leader, .442. That's in tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. This one's out toward left. Hamilton comes in a couple of steps, puts it away for the first down.
It's big out. Not advanced to Fowler. Got good speed, so you have to be aware of it. Michael Moore, there your looks back to second.
Springer, the right fielder, struck out in the first, walked and scored in the third. Takes a little bit low. Warren lost his step after delivering that pitch. T.J. Wilson lasting 2 2/3 tonight. 5 runs all earned. 6 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts.
.1-0 slider from Morin. To be successful up here in the major leagues, you have to be able to throw a secondary pitch in those fastball counts.
One ball, 2 strikes. Good off-speed pitch.
He creates cut action on his changeup. The right-handed batters is a different grip for him as compared to the one he'll throw to a left-handed batter.
Look back to Fowler. The 1-2 upstairs. Fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Does look a little bit like Papelbon when he's looking in for the sign.
Yep.
Doesn't quite do that Mr. Bill face when he's getting hit by a bus, but Fowler reading that pickoff attempt.
So even though you don't throw the baseball, you're trying to shorten that secondary lead just in case he tries to steal third.
Full count. Jason Castro is on deck. First time that Moore has faced the Astros. Seven hits for Houston, including that leadoff double by Fowler here to start this 4th inning. Now the 3-2. Boy, good off-speed pitch, popped him up. Cowgill, Hamilton. It's Josh Hamilton taking charge, 2 down.
That's a good decision for Cowgill to let Hamilton get that baseball. Had a good read on it. Calgo had to go a long way from the center field position because he can play a little more shallow here as a left fielder in Minute Maid Park because of the short dimensions. Easier play for Hamilton to come in.
So Castro will bat with 2 outs and a man in scoring position. He singled home 2 runs in the third. It was 26th and 27th runs batted in. Also scored one of the 5 runs. Looked like a pretty good pitch. It's a 1-0 count. Here's Castro Valley, California, Stanford. Astros lone All-Star representative last year. Altuve, the All-Star representative 2 years ago. It's 2 balls and no strikes now. Who'd you go with then? If you were to pick the Astros guy.
Altuve's put up some very good numbers once again. Keuchel throwing the ball very well. He's got a real good chance of making it as a pitcher in the American League.
Jose was even championing the George Springer cause. 2-0 pitch. This is grounded towards second. Howie's got it. And that'll do it. So a leadoff double stranded at second base. 4 complete here at Minute Maid Park. It is 5-0 Houston. Halos down 5-0 as we begin the top of the 5th inning. Let's take a look at our Subway in-game box score. The Angels have managed just 2 hits in this one. Double by Calhoun, single by Albert Pujols. And they've had men in scoring position, but the Angels tonight through 4 innings against Colin McHugh are just now 0 for 7 in those situations. And it started in the first with a double by Cole and McHugh striking out Chant and Pujols. Hamilton hit a fly ball to deep center field. Angels have not been able to push across any runs since. They got the first 2 guys on board to start the 4th. Eventually loading the bases with 2 outs, but Chris Arnetta lined out to finish off that threat. 9-1-2 for the Halos here in the 5th. Ibar, Calhoun, and Calgill. You weren't with us earlier. Trout started the game, but then came out in the 2nd. Upper back stiffness. Ibar reached on the error by Singleton at first base in the 3rd. He's 0 for 1. He was eventually stranded at second base. 1-1 on the way. 2 balls and a strike. The Angels do have action in their bullpen. Michael Moore has gone an inning and a third. It's Fernando Salas getting ready.
Well, McHugh still throwing a lot of off-speed pitches.
Pulled foul off the side of the dugout.
And another one there, another slider. Well, we talked about throwing over 50% of his pitches are between the curveball, slider, even a changeup. So far, it's worked for him. He's thrown a lot of pitches to get to this point. He still has that 5-0 lead. Just 1 walk, 4 punch-outs.
Full count. Top of the order, and Cole Calhoun on deck. And he walks him. Second straight inning in which the Angels have had the leadoff man reach. 3rd time overall in the game. Second walk by McHugh to go with the 4 strikeouts and 1 hit batter. One for 2-9 for Calhoun. Doubled in the 1st inning. He's 7th of the year. Pretty good lead for Eric at first. Tight. Mentioned the bullpen for the Astros. Starters with a 4.01 ERA. Houston's bullpen at 4.65. The Angels have had their issues themselves. Taylor's pen at 4.36.
Looks like there's some movement already down in the bullpen for the Astros.
He's thrown 90 pitches now. The 91st is up and away. So it's 2 balls and no strikes. He's through 4 and 1 batter. He hasn't even qualified for a W yet.
And there's nothing more that will aggravate the pitching coach and or your manager is if when you walk batters when you have a 5-0 lead and you're already up there with the pitch count, trying to be too fine when you have that ability to be more aggressive.
You know, and we said it from the beginning. It's not as if he came out as he did. Brent Strom's going to pay a visit now to allow Darren Downs an opportunity to get ready. Not as if he came out like he did the first time against the Angels, where he was locked in. He had everything working for himself. Even though he got us some deep counts, got out of damage. Today it seems like even from the get-go, he's kind of trying to find the feel for the breaking ball.
To me, he's just thrown entirely too many off-speed pitches. He is not allowed to create that movement on his fastball. When he's down in the strike zone with his fastball, he's going to get a lot of ground ball outs. He's fallen into more. You see one of those typical left-handed pitchers throwing curveball, slider, changeup.
He's been able to work out of it. But my point being is that Angels hitters have had the opportunity. They've been given some pitches to take advantage of it. They just haven't been able to take advantage of it.
At some point he's going to pay for this, especially in this ballpark. This is definitely a hitter's yard. So the more pitches you throw, the more mistakes you make, eventually you're going to see some runners just cruising around the bases.
He's behind in the count on Cole Calhoun at 2-0. Eric Ibar at first. To me, this would be the pitch. If it's in your zone, let it fly.
No question. Yeah, you need base runners, but this is also a fastball count to do damage.
Popped it up. Matt Dominguez, the third baseman, makes the catch, 1 out.
Well, you can see by the reaction by Cole, not only going back to the dugout now, but after he hit that pop-up, he had a fastball. He was looking for a fastball. It was elevated enough where he wasn't able to square it up.
It's got to be in that happy zone.
Especially for a lefty. You want it down, middle in, and then you let it go.
So 1 out, 1 on, and here's Colin Cowgill, who struck out in the 3rd. Josh Fields is also loosening, so you've got a righty and a lefty going for Houston in their pen. I think the Angels have got to start doing something on the base paths, action-wise, hit, run, or what have you.
Especially the hole that Cowgill has on that right side of the infield, of fastball away to sit in that hole.
Lifted down the first base side, and this one headed toward the seats. 0-2. Ground ball down the line, foul. Just pulled it. And again, not a very good breaking ball. Just enough to where the hitters are having to wait for the fastball, especially with 2 strikes, just down in front of it enough.
Yeah, the change in speed, even though the location not there for McHugh. But it's 71 to 73, hitters still out in front.
You wonder if this is his last inning, 95 pitches.
He shook off a fastball in to go off speed away again.
Chopper to the left side. Dominguez lets VR handle it, and they only get the lead runner.
It looked like there was communication there between Dominguez and VR to allow that ball to get by. Normally, you're going to see Dominguez catch that and throw it quickly over to Altuve at second.
So 2 outs and a man at first. Angels maintaining their station-to-station prowess on this road trip. Albert 1 for 2, a strikeout in the first, a single in the fourth. Angels have managed just 2 hits tonight. Double by Calhoun, a single by Albert. This is back up the middle and backhanded by McHugh. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still Houston on top.
Boy, McHugh, just a lot of times the pitcher just throw your glove at that ground ball up the middle. That baseball finds the glove of McHugh. He gets through the inning.
And Mike Scioscia's gone to the bullpen, and it's Fernando Salas taking over for Michael Morin. Morin went an inning and a third and allowed 1 hit, everything else zeros. And now Fernando comes in to try to keep this a 5-0 deficit. He'll be facing Dominguez, Singleton, and Carter.
His 24th game now. He's pitched 22 innings, 23 strikeouts. Opponents hit .235 against Fernando Salas.
Last time out for Salas was against the Mariners on the 29th. Gave up 2 runs on 1 hit in the 3rd of an inning. That was courtesy of a home run. Matt Dominguez, a walk and a single. He's also scored a run. Now we're missing down and in.
That looked like a pretty good pitch. Had a good movement on it. See if his pitch catches the strike zone according to our Fox track. Yes, right in the middle part of the plate at the knees.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Come on, Matty. Come on, Matty.
Heck of a play by Colin McHugh to finish off the top of the 5th. Blind backhand.
Yeah, so often you'll see a pitcher just throw the glove when they turn around like that. Every blue moon it will hit the glove or stay in the glove, and that's what it was for McHugh.
One, 2 and tight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flip foul. Jonathan Singleton, first baseman, on deck. Major League debut tonight. Dominguez is almost like the veteran on this team.
Yeah. A lot of young players.
Pulled through the hole on the left side. It's a leadoff single.
One thing about Dominguez, he likes to get his arms extended, and that fastball was out over the plate and up. Belt high. Got his arms extended. Got a base hit in the hole between short and third.
Singleton, a strikeout and a bases loaded walk, picking up his first major league RBI. Looks at an off-speed pitch for a strike. Eighth round pick, as we mentioned earlier. Phillies back in 09, part of the Hunter Pence trade. Oh, 2.
Oh, a good spot on that fastball.
Houston now with 8 hits on the night with that leadoff single by Dominguez. An off-speed pitch gets Singleton for out number 1.
A real nice changeup. Again, a young hitter, not used to dealing with a changeup or slow curveball as consistently as you see in the major leagues. He'd actually get a swing and miss second time in the game. Singleton has struck out. He had a walk also so far.
There's Chris Carter. DH is 1 for 2. Houston dropping a 5 spot on the Halos in the 3rd. 3 hits, 4 walks. Pitch apparently a little bit low. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
And you want to see from Chris behind there, just frame that pitch with not a lot of movement in the catcher's mitt. Give Paul M an opportunity to call that pitch rate on the border to be in the strike.
1-1. Looks like there's action still in the Astros pen, so McHugh might be done after 5 innings tonight. They're down, still loose. You got Josh Hamilton leading things off, then Kendrick and Ibanez. 4, 5, and 6 for the Angels. I mean, that's about as dominant a line that felt worse than you'll see. Colin McHugh. I mean, 5 innings, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs.
Yeah, it has the appearance of like he threw the ball extremely well, but he didn't look comfortable at any point during the game.
Well, he made the pitches when he needed to. You know, either that or just enough to where Angel hitters get themselves out.
He changed speeds enough. That's what the big thing for him is slider and curve.
Oh, and Carter goes down swinging, tied up on that pitch. 2 down.
Change up again. Salas off the plate, running action on the changeup.
And you got to be careful with Carter in that zone.
Yeah, if that gets in a little bit too much of the plate, that's the spot down and in where he just could drop the head of the bat and make serious contact. He's not your typical right-handed batter. Right-handed batters generally like the ball up in the strike zone. Carter does not.
Robbie Grossman switching left fielder, swinging a miss on the first offering. He himself had a 2 RBI single. It was the last batter that CJ faced in the 3rd. One of the 6 hits that Wilson allowed in his 2 2/3. One ball, 1 strike. The Angels have not lost 4 in a row this year. Second stretch in which they've lost 3 consecutive games. Of course, they started the season losing 3 against Seattle at home. Or this is the 3rd stretch. Lost that last game, a walk-off to the Nationals, and then lost the first 2. A mistake. Actually won the first game against New York, so it is the second time. Off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
We're just watching Grossman's hands get to the left side, in particular, that high up above the helmet. You would think it would be difficult for him to stay back and make good contact on something slow away, whether it's changeup or curveball. A lot of movement in the hands, and then a lot of area to try to cover.
This is line to second. That'll do it. Lead off single, stranded at first. 5 complete. Houston, it is 5-0 Angels. Apart from 5-0 Houston. Wishful thinking.
Yeah. Game summary. It's been all Astros in this game in the third inning. C.J. Wilson with 3 walks, but then some base hits. Castro with a base hit. Matt Dominguez base hit in the left field. And they finish it off with their 3rd hit of the inning. Grossman up the middle, scoring 5 runs in the 3rd inning. And Colin McHugh has done a solid job, not his best stuff, but making quality pitches when he is needed to. Through 5 innings, shutout ball. Going down to the bullpen for the Astros.
Left-hander Darren Downs takes over on the mound for Colin McHugh. This is his 12th game. No record of 1.93 ERA. Downs originally Tiger system. 9 in the 3rd innings. 8 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks. Well, the situational guy to get you through these 2 left-handed batters. Although, Mike says you could go to C.J. Cron if Ibanez, or when Ibanez's spot in the order comes up. The roof is opening here at Minute Maid Park. That would lead you to believe there's no threat of rain the rest of the night.
No.
Hamilton looks at the strike.
And a lot of sliders from Downs. Also, fastballs 87, 91 range, but a lot of sliders, curveball, changeup.
Prior to this year, just 47 games in the big leagues for Downs. Hamilton 0 for 1, a deep fly ball to center and a walk. No balls, 2 strikes. Hudson's pulled foul. Downs left that pitch up.
Got away with a mistake. "97 pitches thrown for McHugh through 5 innings. Although he did throw 63 of them for strikes.
One ball, 2 strikes. One, 2 from Downs. And a swing and a miss. Roll away. Hey, folks, don't miss your chance to meet Howie Kendrick. He will be signing autographs at the Cox Solution Store on 6234 Irvine Boulevard. Irvine from 12 to 1 p.m. Arrive early and have a chance to win great prizes from the Angels Strike Force. Oh, that's happening Saturday at noon. I was going to keep you guessing.
I like it.
Yeah. Howie bouncing this one to short. First pitch swinging. 2 down. Gets you to go to 6234 Irvine Boulevard every single day until Howie shows up at noon. 2 up and 2 down here in the 6th. Raul Ibanez will bat. 0 for 2. DH tonight with a fly ball to left and a pop up in foul territory.
Coming in and throwing a lot of strikes.
This one bounced over to Singleton. Flip it on to Downs, and the Angels go down in order for the 2nd time tonight. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Still Houston up 5-0. Nothing Houston. Hey, catch every strikeout, every game ender, and every history-making moment on MLB Whip Around weeknights, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Cam Bedrosian has been brought in relief of Fernando Salas, making his major league debut. This year, he's split time between A-ball and Double-A. And he's put up terrific numbers. His dad, Steve Bedrosian, longtime big leaguer.
Cy Young Award winner. A little nervous, as you always would be to see your son, his debut. Bedrosian, very good fastball. 93, 97, very good slider, and a plus changeup.
Bedrock Jr. on a relief. Most recently, 17 games at Double-A Arkansas.
How cool is that?
Yep. 7 saves for Cam, 18 in the 3rd innings, 30 strikeouts, and 6 walks. Good numbers so far in the minor leagues. First round pick, 29th overall selection, 2010. At a high school in Georgia, Sharpsburg, Georgia. 22 years of age, making his major league debut. A couple of guys in this game making their big league debuts. Jonathan Singleton, the first baseman for Houston, doing the same. Salas goes 1 inning, allows 1 hit, strikes out 2. Everything else zeros. First pitch swinging, and it's 0-1-1 on Jonathan Villar.
Well, we both like the way he threw the ball in spring training, where you got to see him a number of games. Aggressive, throwing strikes. Life on the fastball, nasty slider, very good changeup.
Speed pitch.
That's a good changeup. That's a plus pitch. 86-mile-an-hour changeup.
Head of the count at no balls, 2 strikes. Fastball. 95. One and 2. 9-1-2 for the Astros. VR, Fowler, now Altuve. And a swing and a miss down goes VR. And his first big league batter, he strikes him out.
Great moment. Boy, great fastball, too. This ball had some running action. You're a good fastball hitter. Didn't catch up to that fastball, though. Boy, 45 strikeouts in the minor leagues in 24 innings pitched. And making 1 strikeout in the majors in the 3rd of innings pitched so far.
Dexter Fowler takes down low. Bedrosian called up as Michael Kahn was optioned down. Michael struggled through the very tough month of May.
Now, I asked Mike Scioscia about Bedrosian. What role would he have? 6th, 7th inning? Where is he going to fit in as far as the bullpen? He says he has closer stuff. Now, he's still a work in progress, getting experience at the major league level, but at some point, you're seeing the future closer here for the Angels, whether it's a year or 2 down the road or by the end of the year. He's going to be that guy because he has that type of stuff.
Never drafted in 2010, then sat out all 2011 with Tommy John surgery. This one's grounded toward the middle. Howie to the backhand has it. Off balance throw. Pujols keeps the foot on the bag. 2 outs. So the base is clear, and Jose Altuve at the plate. 1 for 3 tonight. Bo Porter went out for a second to talk things over with Jordan Baker. So replay needed.
over slider we've seen from him. More of a get over, go a strike slider.
Here's the 1-1. Altuve late on that one. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Camp pitched 21 games in 2012 in Cedar Rapids. 2 teams in 2013, both A-ball, Burlington, Inland Empire. This one's fouled back. And this year, Inland Empire to start 5 games, finished 4 of them with 15 strikeouts at 5 2/3 before getting the call up to Double-A. Now here in the big leagues.
Haven't quite seen that nasty slider. 3 sliders he's thrown in his bat against Altuve. He's kind of got around it, a little quick on his delivery.
Ground ball sharply hit. Now Kendrick has it. And Bedrosian has a 1-2-3 big league debut. Dad's happy. The Angels can support him here with some runs, down 5-0.
Now let's take a look at our AT HOU versus Rewind. Dan Bedrosian, first major league batter he faces, gets a swing and miss. Dad and family on board to watch. Son, a 1-2-3 inning. First batter faced, a strikeout for Bedrosian.
Halos down 5-0 as we begin the 7th. Angels will have Friesen and Ibar coming up here in the 7th inning. Face Josh Fields, new pitcher on for the Astros, taking over for Darren Downs.
Fields with a good fastball, 92 to 96. Curveball, changeup, a lot of fastballs.
First one is upstairs. Chris 0 for 1, or pardon me, Freeze 0 for 1. Now ball is short and a hit by pitch. Fields a former Rule 5 selection prior to last year.
Josh.
Go back and revisit the Hyundai key to the game tonight.
We're talking about parking lot party. Thought there'd be an opportunity for some big flies early on against McHugh. Just enough off-speed pitches and hitters chasing those pitches out of the zone. He did a good job as far as shutting down the Halos, but still some time left to use the long ball.
1-2 from Fields. Freeze goes down swinging, 1 out.
Talking about that firm fastball. It goes upstairs with some running action. Get a swing and miss from Freeze.
It's Chris Iannetta, 0 for 2. Struck out looking into third. Lined down with the bases loaded in the fourth. That's the breaking ball for a strike. Bouncer found it. No balls, 2 strikes. Kevin Jepson getting ready in the Angels pen. So far tonight, C.J. Wilson 2 2/3, getting knocked down in the third. Michael Bourne an inning in the third. Salas 1 inning. Bedrosian 1. And Jepson looks like he'll be pitching the bottom of the 7th. Cam hanging out with CJ. Younger players on this team. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Iannetta goes down swinging for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Fields.
Oh, with the fastball, Victor, that's good life on it. Good location. This fastball.
Ibar reached on an error in the 3rd inning and walked in the 5th. All the Astros runs coming into 3rd. Courtesy of 3 hits, 4 walks by CJ. Ibar lifts one out to left. Grossman back a couple of steps. The Angels go down in order once again. That is 7 in a row retired by Astros pitching. 7th inning stretch time. Still 5-0 Houston. Barbara Llanos is tonight's selection. We thank you for sending us a tweet. Hashtag West Fans Photo. That's all it takes. Five 0 Houston. All 5 runs in that 3rd inning. Kevin Jepson takes over on the mound for Cam Bedrosian. 1 inning, 1 strikeout in his major league debut. Jepson to face Springer, Castro, and Dominguez here in the 7th.
Bedrosian had that big smile on the face after being able to complete that first inning in the major leagues. Well thrown first inning for Bedrosian. Now it's up to Kevin Jepson to keep that deficit still at 5-0. The bullpen has done a nice job since coming in for C.J. Wilson.
Jepson pitching in his 24th game. No record of .415 ERA. 17 in the 3rd innings. 10 hits. 25 strikeouts and 9 walks. Springer 0 for 2 tonight. Did walk and score in that 3rd inning. Other 2 plate appearances have resulted in a strikeout and a fly ball to left. Two balls, 1 strike. After this inning, it'll be Smith and Frieri left in the Angels' pen. One of them will get the 8th. Another short start by a starter. The last 4 games. Where Richards got knocked out in the 1st inning of Friday night's game. We're going 6 on Sunday. Skaggs into the 7th on Saturday. And CJ unable to get through 3 innings tonight. And command just went south on him. Back-to-back walks to start that 3rd inning, and it was unfortunately downhill from there.
Yeah, we have not seen that from CJ really this year with control issues like that.
Slider missing down. Full count now. Jason Castro on deck. Andy Walken, an overthrown fastball. The Springer is on board, and that'll bring up Castro. Springer with 1 stolen base, caught twice. A 1 for 3 night for Castro. The 2 RBI single in the 3rd inning. Good rate on that fastball.
96-mile-an-hour fastball from Jepson.
Off speed. Wanted to appeal. Jerry Meals says he did not go. It's 1-1. 23,219 here in the opening game of this three-game set. The Angels come in with a 5-2 record against the Astros this year. Had an opportunity the first inning after Cole Calhoun led off again with a little flared double down the left field line. And then McHugh retired the next three.
Including in there Mike Trout's swing and miss, in which he did not look comfortable at the plate and eventually left the game.
Two balls, two strikes. Colin Cowgill took over for Trout in the second inning. Halos in the eighth will have Calhoun, Cowgill, and Pujols coming up. Looks like Fields will be coming back after his second inning. An economical seventh, 1-2-3-7. Striking out Freeze and Iden, and then getting Ibar hit the fly ball to left. Two balls, two strikes. Springer over at first base. Fouled off into the upper tank here.
A pretty good changeup from Jepson.
So that time of year here at Houston where it might be warm in the daytime, but not bad at night. Not overbearing. That's why the roof is open now. Loop towards second. That's a one hopper, and it's going to turn into a double play. Nothing Springer could do as the base runner at first. Two down.
Second double play that Castro has hit into. Another 4-6-3 double play. As a runner, you had the freeze. Ball clearly hits the ground first. Now he flips it over to Ibar. He's got plenty of time to turn the double play.
So two out, bases clear. Matt Dominguez coming up. A walk, two singles, run scored for Dominguez. Eight hits for Houston, and spread out in this game. They only picked up 3 in that third inning, as they sent 10 men to the plate.
Yeah, 4 walks in that inning.
And we mentioned coming to this game, Houston a much better hitting team against left-handed pitching than right-handed pitching this year. 264 batting average. They're giving up 6 hits and 2 2/3. Two balls, one strike. That's something that has plagued Jepson in years past, to get a hitter's count. And all of a sudden, rare back throw a fastball. I can go to the off-speed pitch and slider.
He goes much better with his changeup also in those spots. Try to go back-to-back changeup, try to make a perfect pitch, even though the one before was excellent. Didn't have to do anything more on that one. His trust in the grip and your mechanics to take the speed off the changeup. And when you're able to throw a changeup for a strike, that's the type of swing you're going to get on a fastball. Great location.
Singleton on deck with 2 outs. 3-2 to Dominguez. And he went around. That'll do it for the Astros. 7 complete here at Houston. Still 5-0 Astros. Angels Baseball is brought to you by the UPS Store, your one-stop shop for your small business needs. And by Mercury Insurance. Save big on your auto insurance. Get a fast free quote at mercuryinsurance.com today to see how much you can save. Top of the 8th here at Houston. It is 5-0 Astros. Top of the order coming up. Paul Calhoun, Colin Cowgill, and Albert Pujols. This is the first of a 3-game set here. Wrapping up this 10-game road trip. Has not been kind at all to the Angels. 2-2 at Seattle, 0-3 at Oakland. And needing a comeback here with 6 outs to play. Instead, that doesn't happen. It could be a 4-game losing streak for the first time this year. Cole 1 for 3, a double back in the first. Ground out to first in the third inning. And a pop to third base. One ball, 1 strike. Off-speed pitch, a strike. It's 1-2.
We're able to make some changeup in, especially after trying to gear up to 95 to 97 on the fastball with movement.
This one fouled off. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Went back to the off-speed pitch. 1 down. Third strikeout for Fields. 4 batters.
This changeup just off the outside corner. But again, ball almost called. Pitches on the corner are just off throughout the game. The consistent strike zone he's had.
Cowgill up, he's 0 for 2. Strike on the fielder's choice. And Shoemaker getting ready for the Angels.
Come on, Josh.
Got to get him some work before his next start. Next 2 games of the series, it's Gary Richards and Tyler Skaggs. Cowgill rips one out to deep left center field. That is a monster drive, and that one is gone. A big fly for Colin Cowgill puts the Angels on the board. It's 5-1 Houston.
And we talk about him liking that fastball up. He squared that one up and went a long way to left center field. Serious power from Cowgill. That is home run number 4 on the season. 13th RBI. No doubter. Serious distance on that home run from Cowgill.
Albert takes a breaking ball for a strike. Pujols 1 for 3, a single back in the 4th inning. It's the 3rd hit of the night for the Angels. 1-1. Tony Sipp, the lefty, getting ready for Houston. Hamilton on deck. Albert a little bit tardy on the fastball. It's 1-2. Chopper down the first base line. Singleton moves over. It's a fair ball, and he flips it to Fields. 2 outs. So the left-hand hitting Hamilton coming up. Looks like Bo Porter's going to bring in Tony Sipp. Fields is gone, an inning and 2/3. It is matchup time. Pitching change here in the 8th. The Angels on the board with a Cowgill home run. Still trailing 5-1. The top of the 8th inning with 2 outs. Want to remind you that MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Visit Angels.com for details. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, on in relief here of Josh Fields. Sipp, 9 games with the Astros. 9 2/3 innings. 2 hits, 13 strikeouts, and 1 walk.
Fastball 90-94. He's responding to fastball well. Good slider. Solid changeup also.
Sipp claimed off waivers. Picked up by the Houston Astros. Released, I should say, by the San Diego Padres. Nobody claimed him, but then the Astros ended up signing him, bringing him back, essentially. He's done a heck of a job. You look at his overall numbers, especially going back to last year. Remember the Diamondbacks, 4.78 ERA in 56 games. Got a .310 whip.
And he's throwing strikes, especially coming out of the bullpen and throwing that first pitch strike.
'45th round pick by Cleveland in '04. And Hamilton rips one out to right field. Going back is Springer. Gone. A big fly for Josh Hamilton. Third of the year, first back since April the 7th.
Well, he just missed a home run in the first inning if it wasn't hit the center field. And that's good to see against a left-handed pitcher who is knocking up any runs so far this year. Well, now he does have an ERA thanks to Josh Hamilton. Well, that baseball got out in a hurry also. It's a good sound. Jumped on the fastball. Barrel the bat. And out quickly. 2 home runs in this inning.
Howie takes upstairs. Actually, first home run since April 5th. He's right here against Houston.
He likes hitting here.
Yeah. 1 for 3 games. The Angels have 2 runs on the board, both solo home runs. Howie looks at the strike. Howie 0 for 3. 3 ground ball outs to short. Two balls, 1 strike.
All of a sudden, with a swing like that, you end up pitching more carefully. Sip now behind in the count after Hamilton hit a home run against him.
Three and 1. Now an off the glove of Castro. Overthrown fastball. First run allowed in the big leagues this year by Tony Sip.
Two home runs in this inning. One by Cowgill. And one by Hamilton against Sip.
Good boy. Good boy.
4th down. Cabanya's on deck. Here's the 3-2. Now it's jammed on the fastball. Fights it foul. That is in on the hands right there.
That's his trying to stay alive when you're at bat. You're looking away. Runs a fastball 93 on your hands. Well, we always say how he's very good as far as going inside, out on the swing, but boy, that got so far in. Fortunate enough just to foul that one away.
I think they want to go back outside. Bouncer to the right side, and Singleton can't handle it. Kendrick will reach here. We'll see if they rule that an error. Singleton already with 1 error tonight.
Try to be able to scoop that tricky hop. Not by him again.
C.J. Cron is going to pinch in here. And that means Bo Porter is going to go out and counter the move, bringing in another reliever. Pitching change. We're still in the 8th. 2 runs in for the Halos, both solo home runs. It is 5-2 Astros. the mound here for Tony Sipp with 2 outs and a man at first base. And he'll be taking on C.J. Crone. Farnsworth picked up after the Mets let him go. 24 games this year. 0-3 and a 3.38 ERA. As an Astro, 19 games, 17 innings, 18 hits, 10 strikeouts, 6 walks.
Fastball not as firm as it used to be, but it's still a good fastball. 90-95 slider, curveball.
C.J. Crone hitting .299. 3 home runs, 11 runs batted in. Howie over at first base. Singleton was charged with an error, his second error of the game. First one outside.
Okay, come on now.
Boy, a big fly right here from C.J. Crone. All of a sudden, this gets real interesting this game.
Those numbers I gave you were as a Met. He's pitching his 6th game as an Astro. And Crone pops it up. Breaking ball. Left side of the infield. It's Altuve making the catch. That'll do it for the Halos here in the 8th. They score twice on the solo home runs. We will head to the bottom of the inning. It is 5-2 Houston. Look at our Honda upcoming schedule. Take a look at tomorrow's game, game 2 of this 3-game set. Garrett Richards on the mound, looking to bounce back after his tough start on Friday against a prized arm of the Astros organization, Jared Kozar.
Yeah, Kozar's throwing the ball well, but Garrett had a good bullpen session down. I was watching it in Oakland to try to smooth out his mechanics. Threw across his body a lot the other day in Oakland. Look for him to bounce back and have a big-time game tomorrow night.
Matt Shoemaker comes in to this ball game to pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. His first relief appearance since April the 12th. We're getting 4 straight starts. Getting pushed back for his next start. We anticipated to be against the White Sox over the weekend. 3-1 record of 3.54 ERA. He'll face Singleton, Carter, and Grossman, the scheduled 3 batters. And the breaking ball is outside. Last appearance for Shoemaker on the 29th against Seattle, went 5 1/3, gave up 3 runs, 4 hits. Picked up the victory after throwing 73 pitches in that start. Singleton in his major league debut is 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts. He did pick up his first big league RBI, a bases loaded walk in the 3rd inning. It's 2 balls, no strikes. 3-0 now. Singleton given a 5-year, $10 million contract with 3 club option years. Those 3 years get picked up. He picked up about $30 million, and then the free agency at the age of 30. 3 balls in the strike. I know there's been a couple of folks, one current big league pitcher, one former big league pitcher, not liking the signing as far as maybe not listening to the union or his older players, instead listening to his agent and his family. This was hammered out to right center field, and that's what the Astros have been hoping for. And his first major league hit, first major league game, it's a home run. But it's tough to deny a young man who gets guaranteed money to chide him for that.
No, I mean, anytime you could do that, you could see the power, top prospect as far as power. 2012 for the Astros, 2011 for the Philadelphia Phillies. He's got big time power, and you can see what he does with a fastball out over the plate, no doubt. A long way. That's a long way to hit a baseball here. And out for his first major league hit and home run, and his parents here at the game. There it is. That's it. Yeah, I know he can do that. Just stared that baseball down over the fence.
A lot of media here today for Jonathan, his first press conference. And the Astros get one of those runs back, so now a 4-run deficit, 6-2. Two balls and a strike on Carter, the DH. 1 for 3, had a single back in the second, struck out the other 2 times. Matt having a tough time getting back in a rhythm here, coming out of the pen for this 8th inning.
4th home run he's allowed this season.
Carter hits one high and deep toward the right field corner. Calhoun over, and that is gone. Back-to-back home runs for the Astros to start this 8th.
Well, when Carter can get his arms extended, it's going to be hit far. The other way for a home run, his 9th. The fastball was up and out over the plate.
So the Astros have erased the 2 runs the Angels have put on the board. A 5-run deficit once again. And here's Robbie Grossman. Shoemaker falls behind at 1 ball, no strikes. Grossman 1 for 3, a 2 RBI single back in the 3rd. Home run for Carter, his 9th of the year. 23rd RBI. 2-2. First time this year the Astros have gone back-to-back. Grossman strikes out swinging, and there's out number 1. So Jonathan VR comes to the plate, 0 for 2. Angels in the 9th inning will have the bottom 3rd of their order coming up at Friesheim Net and Ibarn. 10 hits tonight for the Houston Astros, 4 for the Angels. 5 runs in the 3rd inning, 2 so far here in the 8th. That hit him right in the elbow.
He's trying to shake that one off, and you get hit right in the elbow with a fastball. It's going to hurt for a while.
Doesn't look like he has a elbow guard either. It's flush.
You can hear that sound, the baseball on the bone, the elbow.
Looks like VR will be all right.
Throwing on him too. When you think about it, maybe ground ball and shortstop, that's going to be a difficult throw for him.
Yeah. I was just getting ready to say, I'm surprised Bo Porter hasn't just brought in Marvin Gonzalez and just pinch run for him and get him out of the game.
What a difficult throw that could be.
Clearly in pain. And here's Dexter Fowler, the leadoff man. Two for 3 for Fowler tonight. That is outside and off the glove. Yard. Scoring position now.
Still doesn't look real comfortable out there in the bases.
One ball, no strikes. It's a wild pitch on Shoemaker, advancing Villar to scoring position. Matt have had some issues in this 8th inning. It's his first relief appearance since April, early mid-April.
So used to Matt throwing a bunch of strikes. He's been behind a lot of the counts here.
Houston with back-to-back home runs to start off this 8th inning. Singleton and Carter. 3-0. Jose Altuve on deck. Long one tonight. Both starters really threw a lot of pitches early on. Tempo was slow. Even for Colin McHugh, no real issues other than perhaps maybe the 4th inning. Bases loaded situation with 2 outs before Iannetta lined down. A lot of pitches thrown for both guys. And there's a walk. And that tone was set early. Now Mike Butcher's going to come out. Ferrier and Smith, the only 2 guys left in the Angels' pen. 6-man pen now. C.J. Lastic just 2 2/3. Michael Moore an inning and a third. Salas, Bedrosian, and Jepson each going scoreless inning.
That may force another potential roster move again tomorrow.
Here's Altuve. 1 for 4. Single back in the first. Yard second and Fowler at first base. Good speed on the bases for the Astros. And again, Matt unable to get that first pitch strike. .23 pitches thrown by Shoemaker here in this 8th inning. 14 balls, 9 strikes. Bounce foul. Fouled back. A couple of right-handers getting ready for the Astros. Clemens and Qualls. Foul at the plate. Count remains at 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors, 7 left on for the Angels. 7 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. 6 left on for Houston. Two balls, 2 strikes. Springer is on deck. Full count. Nobody warming up for the Angels, so it's Matt Shoemaker or bust.
Thing with that, now you're extending Shoemaker, whether he's pitching Friday or Saturday at home. A lot of pitches thrown.
Now Tuve lifts one out to left. Hamilton moving toward the foul line. 2 down. Just down in front enough. So it's George Springer coming to the plate now with 2 outs and 2 on. Astros right fielder 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout and a fly ball to left. He's also walked twice. 7 walks in the game for Angels pitchers. 5 by Wilson, 1 by Kevin Jepson, and 1 by Shoemaker.
Consistent as far as falling behind in the count. Shoemaker his relief appearance here.
That was just a football play swing. It's a back leg swing.
Yeah, especially for a young hitter like that. You never feel good about that when you're on the mound, when you have a young hitter swinging as hard as that against you.
Two balls and a strike. Back in your day, would you have perhaps maybe have reminded him of his service time?
Anyone that's good, even Altuve that pitched before, he went down to one knee, swing and try to hit that one out. And then again, they've had a couple home runs this inning, so they still had the final say against it. But you're never going to feel good when you see a hitter comfortable enough to swing that hard against you.
Two balls, two strikes. From another one.
Yeah, have to.
Two now. Count. Off-speed pitch missing hit. 35 pitches thrown by Matt. Runners are going to get head start here with 2 outs. VR from second and Fowler from first. Neither guy needs a head start. A 7-2 Astros lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Back-to-back home runs by Singleton and Carter to start off this frame. Runners go. 3-2. A swing and a miss. Down goes Springer. We will head to the 9th. The Angels down by 5. Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Top of the 9th inning, 7-2 Houston. A couple of changes for them. Veteran right-hander Chad Qualls comes on in relief of Kyle Farnsworth. They're going 1/3 of an inning. 21st game for Qualls, 1-1 record, a 2.55 ERA, has 5 saves under his belt. He'll also have a new shortstop as Marlon Gonzalez does indeed come in and take over for VR.
Yeah, that's what we thought when VR got hit right on the throwing arm, on the elbow. Gonzalez, a good shortstop himself. Qualls, fastball 91-96, and sharp slider.
After the last out, Angels Live post game presented by SoCal Mazda dealers. They will join me to break this affair down. Difference in this game, a 5-run 3rd inning. Bottom 3rd of the order. Freeze, Inet, and Ivar for the Angels. Freeze tonight 0 for 2. A ground down, a strikeout. He's also hit by a pitch. Breaking ball missing low. Qualls picked up his 5th save Friday against the Baltimore Orioles. This one's fouled off to the right. stat you don't see every day. Caused 486 scoreless appearances since 2005. Second most in the majors in that span behind Francisco Rodriguez. Freeze fouls it back. Count still at a ball and 2 strikes.
Impressive.
Freeze lines it into center. That's a base hit. Grossman over to have to cut it off. Does so almost in center field. Fowler was shading Freeze the opposite way.
He looked like he was the backup plan in case it got by Grossman.
So leadoff man on board. Iannetta steps up. He's 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a line out. Iannetta puts one out to center. 1 out. Just may have gotten that one off the end of the bat. Over the piece of the bat arm. So 1 down, and here comes Ibar. The Angels fell behind early, and even when presented with opportunities, unable to bring home any runs. As far as the situational hitting, they brought in runs on solo home runs by Cowgill and Hamilton in the 8th inning, but 0 for 7.
Well, you start out the game, you feel the regular everyday lineup was intact. Mike Trout wanted bat and then out of the game. Uncomfortable at the plate on a couple swings. Had to leave the game. Well, when Cowgill came in, eventually he had a home run, a mammoth home run for Cowgill.
Sharply hit to short. Gonzalez will feed Altuve for 1. The relay over to first, not in time. Eric will reach on the fielder's choice, and the Angels down to the last out. It's Cole Calhoun coming up. Calhoun 1 for 4 with a double. He hits this one out to center. Chasing Fowler back. He's tracking it down. The Halos drop the opening game of the series to the Astros tonight by the final of 7-2.
Well, you mentioned a little bit earlier, this whole game was turned around in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 4 walks by C.J. Wilson. 3 hits by the Astros in clutch time. Scored 5 runs, and that was pretty much the story of the game. A couple home runs by each club in the 8th inning. The reality is you lose that tough one after losing 3 in Oakland. And look for Garrett Richards to turn this